Welcome back to another episode of From the Desk. I am your accountant, Samira Moyed, and a bit of a truncated episode today. But before we start, a shout out to this guy who wrote to me, quote, "You should ask Samira what they would do to her lesbo ass in Gaza. Ask her." Well, Mr. Cool, Israel won't allow international journalists into Gaza, so we're just gonna have to wait to find out what happens to my lesbo ass once I get there. Moving on, in the latest installment of Who's at the Wall Today, Kevin Spacey sported a kippah and lifted his hand to the gods of career revivification. Spacey is performing a live show in Tel Aviv entitled Songs and Stories on November 19th. Watch his ad.
You will join me this November as I take the stage with my band to perform some of the most famous classic songs that have ever been done by Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Sammy Davis, Bobby Darin, and many others. But the songs will actually just be the backdrop to the stories that I will be telling about my career and my life, some of which I have never shared before. It's going to be a wonderful evening of songs and stories, and I look forward to seeing you all there.
While in Tel Aviv, Kevin Spacey recently sat down with Israel's Channel 12 News. Have a look.
That I was being given this little peek into the resilience of Israeli citizens. That what these kids have gone through for the last couple of years, they were so excited to share of themselves and tell these stories, even in Hebrew, which I couldn't understand, but that's the incredible thing, of course, about human relations. The language doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I didn't speak Hebrew. It mattered that I could understand what they were going through, what they were experiencing, what they were sharing. And it was truly one of the most, I feel very lucky that.
You'll recall that Kevin Spacey's career folded like a house of cards. After accused by numerous men, some of them underage, of sexual harassment and sexual assault. Remember, kids, no matter what you do, if you support apartheid and occupation, you'll always have a home in Israel. Moving on to more depravity in the land of milk and genocide. The City Timan primetime rapists had their fans with them when they appeared in Israel's Supreme Court this week. Watch this. The depths of diabolical, deplorable hell have been reached. Now, many of you write to me and ask, how will we know the end is near, Samira? Mark this day and this event when rapists were given a standing ovation and serenaded in Israel's Supreme Court with cries of, "We love you, you are our heroes." For those who don't remember exactly what these soldiers did, here's a refresher, and please, let's play the full 1 minute and 20 seconds. Watch this.
כל התיאור הזה נלקח כאמור מתוך תיעוד במצלמות האבטחה, ואני מקריא עכשיו. בשלב הזה הצמידו נאשם 4 ונאשם 5 את העצור לקיר בעמידה. הרימו את ידיו, הרים המחבל את ידיו האזוקות למעלה והצמידו אותן לקיר. יתר הנאשמים ניצבו בסמוך. מיד לאחר מכן נמצא העצור על הרצפה, מתנועע ומתפתל, כשהנאשמים עומדים סביבו ולעיתים רוכנים מעליו. ואני ממשיך. החל משלב זה ובמשך, שימו לב, 15 דקות. הנאשמים בעטו בעצור, דרכו עליו, עמדו על גופו, היכו ודחפו אותו בכל גופו, לרבות באמצעות עלה. גררו את גופו על הרצפה, הפעילו כלפיו אקדח טייזר, לרבות בראשו. אני ממשיך. לאורך האירוע, זה תואם עם העורך, זה בסדר, בבקשה. לאורך האירוע התחלפו הנאשמים בהחזקת הכלבה, כלבת תקיפה, ובשלב מסוים אחז הנאשם בכלבה והצמיד אותה לעצור. שימו לב, תוך כדי ביצוע המעשים האלה, המתועדים כאמור, נפל כיסוי העיניים של העצור, ולאחר מכן, אחד הנאשמים דקר את העצור בעכוזו, באמצעות חפץ חד, אשר חדר בסמוך לפי הטבעת של העצור, גרם לו לקרע בדופן הרקטום. לאחר מכן, אחד מהנאשמים פקד על העצור להכניס לפיו עלה, שהחזיק בתוקף תפקידו.
Let's stay here with the law because an Israeli lawyer who represents some of Israel's more than 9,000 Palestinian hostages took to Twitter to talk about what his client experiences every time he pays him a visit in prison. Have a look.
שב"ס הגיש נגדי תלונה בלשכה. הוא הגיש נגדי תלונה בלשכה בגלל שאמרתי את האמת. מה אמרתי? אמרתי דברים שפורסמו בכלי התקשורת בכל העולם. אמרתי ששב"ס מבצע אונס שיטתי באסירים. כתבתי שהלקוח שלי מקבל מקל של מג"ב בתחת שלו כל פעם שמגיע ביקור עורך דין. למה כתבתי את זה? כי זה מה שהלקוח שלי אמר לי. עכשיו, את סימני האלימות אני ראיתי בעיניים שלי. אז אני יכול לעמוד מאחורי כל מילה שכתבתי. אני ראיתי בעיניים שלי סימנים לאונס. אני ראיתי בעיניים שלי סימנים לאלימות. אני ראיתי בעיניים שלי השפלות נוראיות שחווים האסירים. ראיתי את זה בעיניים שלי.
Broomsticks. That's Ben Mirmarelli, Israeli lawyer who has had a complaint filed against him by Ben Gavir's Israel Prison Service to the Israeli Bar Association. Ben refuses to back down, says he will continue to speak the truth of what happens to Palestinian prisoners writ large and to his clients specifically, here at home. Zionists continue to try and silence anyone who speaks out against Israel's genocide, including teenagers. A Montreal high school senior was suspended from Royal West Academy for posts that she made on her private Instagram. One post said, quote, "Fuck Israel, holy shit," end quote. She posted that after Israel killed hundreds of Palestinians during this supposed ceasefire. The other post she made was in reference to Israeli army members were told to stand down on October 7th. "I wasn't targeting anyone," she said. "I wasn't going after an individual or a group of people. I was criticizing a corrupt government for a genocide." Now, where on earth would this senior in high school get information that says Israeli soldiers were told to leave the fence at Gaza on October 7th? Right here.
אתה במוצב.
אצלנו ה7 באוקטובר מתחיל לפני 6:30. אני הייתי לוחם במחלקת מרגמות בגדוד 13, גולני, ובאותו לילה אני, יותם סרור, הסמל שלי תמר בן יהודה, זיכרונו לברכה, שלושתנו עושים לילה לבן. הרשינו לעצמנו בשבתות וחגים במיוחד, לעשות לילה לבן עד לכוננות עם שחר, ואתם יודעים, יש לנו זמן לישון מחלקת מרגמות עד לכוננות הבאה. אז ב5:20 בבוקר אנחנו יושבים ליד הקשר כדי לא להעיר מאזין, והסמג"ד שלי, ניר בוינפלק, שגם הוא נפצע קשה, וברוך השם הוא שרד, פתאום עולה בקשר בהודעה מוזרה. כל התחנות, לא יודע למה, לא יודע איך, משהו בסגנון הזה, אין סיור בגדר עד 9 בבוקר.
באיזה שעה זה?
5:20.
Here's what the student told Montreal journalist Christopher Curtis. Quote, "I was told that another student saw my post and that it made them feel uncomfortable." The student's punishment was to serve a one-day in-school suspension, but she refused. The teen was told in the vice principal's office that her post had, quote, "negatively impacted the school environment," end quote. The mother of this student says she will be filing a complaint with the Quebec Human Rights Tribunal, saying that the school violated her daughter's right to freedom of expression. Israel knew for a very long time what Hamas was going to do. It was in the New York Times, and it was elsewhere. Why are we punishing high school students for reading the news? Why are we punishing high school students for taking a stand or speaking out against genocide here in Canada? And staying with spiraling Zionists, Meyer Weinstein, this is the former Canadian head of the Zionist terror group Jewish Defense League here in Canada, took to X to respond to the up-and-coming raising of the Palestinian flag in Toronto on November 17th. He claimed on X, quote, "Thank you very much to Mayor Olivia Chow for listening to my concerns and for refusing to participate in the Palestinian Hamas flag raising at City Hall on November 17th." End quote. Naturally, I reached out to her worship's office, Mayor Olivia Chow, to ask them what contact, if any, they had with Meyer Weinstein. Here was their response. Quote, "No contact with him. His claims of being listened to are baseless." End quote. The lies keep on coming, and the Zionists keep on spiraling. An important event I want to tell you about before we wrap up this episode. On Friday, November 14th and 15th, the Palestine tribunal will get underway here in Ottawa. I will be testifying on November 15th about the role of the media in Canada and genocide. Today, members of that tribunal, organizers of that tribunal, held a press conference. Watch this.
Of the Palestine Tribunal on Canadian Responsibility that will be held in Ottawa this Friday and Saturday. Over the course of 2 days, we will hear from 50 witnesses, including genocide survivors and scholars from Palestine, preeminent international legal experts, and Canadian lawyers, journalists, human rights advocates, and researchers, documenting the multiple ways that Canadian entities have enabled the genocide and dispossession of Palestinians.
Make sure you tune in. This is a very important event happening in our nation's capital. I will provide the link in the description of this episode below so you can watch online. As always, we ask that you support the work we do. We cannot do this work without you. We are completely and totally reader and viewer funded, and we want to remain that way, unfettered and unfiltered. Please head on over to patreon.com/onthelinemedia. Show us some love. And we're putting a call out for mail. We want to hear from you. How have you been silenced over the past 2 years regarding Israel's genocide? How about your friends or family? Let us know what's going on in your circles. You don't have to use your real name. We will keep you anonymous if you want us to. Till next time, stay tuned.